Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us. We'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Welcome to Nerds Talking. It's another Friday. It's another new show. I'm here with Johnny and Laura of In Polite Society, who's sitting in for Hugh and for Lafayette. It's just the three of us tonight. Hugh can't make it. I don't know what for. He just can't make it. Now, Lafayette can't make it because he's at a dinner function for work doing the super spreader thing, which is pretty interesting. Because he had, yeah. Pretty funny. He's okay when it comes to functions, but when it's not function time, it's sick time. And I'm just curious how many radios turned off just now. Like, oh, if it's not on, I'm getting out of here. Because obviously we can't gauge how many people are tuning in more now. Oh, if it's not on this one, better check it out. But I'm sure Lafayette was like, no, I can't miss that function. I got to do my AIDS joke. Nothing with AIDS, man. Don't serve me nothing with AIDS. Anyway,
fly
so
to
it's
work function.
Yeah. So it's just us three. So Johnny, how was your week?
The week was pretty good. I can't complain. Sacramento, I want to say, is probably the most realist city in the world. You know why?
Why is that?
Because it's keeping it 100. It's so fucking hot here. Every single day has been just hot as hell. Like I don't know, around midnight it's still like 75 degrees. That's stupid. It's cooling off this week, but next week it's getting hot again, and it's stupid.
I was in Vegas one weekend and it was 114 degrees at midnight.
Oh my God.
It was nuts. We were walking in the downtown, not the strip, but the downtown had that the little area over there. And they had the clock, the big clock, and it showed the time and showed the temperature. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Did it feel like 100?
It didn't, though. That's what was weird. It didn't feel that hot.
Maybe it's a bad thermometer.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's
Could
broken.
be.
That seems outrageous with the sun down.
The heat probably just fucked up that clock.
Right.
Just blew it all.
I think that clock lost all its money on the craps table and just
I had to walk back 3 miles.
I ain't gonna do anything right.
I'm only right 2 times a day. I hate my life. Well, one of our former hosts, Marie, Johnny, you know Marie. She recently posted on Facebook that she was today years old, and this is maybe a week ago, when she finally understood the saying, a clock is only right 2 times a day.
You guys
Saw
just see my
that.
face right now.
Are you surprised by that? Or are you like, yeah?
I feel like she still doesn't understand it. I feel like she's still looking at a digital clock, and it's like, well, obviously it's right because
Why is it blinking 12 all the time?
yeah.
She's waiting for somebody to explain it to her in the comments. It was just fishing. It's just fishing for an answer.
Yeah.
Trying to use context clues to understand.
I saw with it came 3 likes, and I don't know who liked that, but I definitely I definitely stood away from that. I'm like, all right, well, it took you 30 years, but I still don't think you understand.
Laura, how was your week?
My week was good. Sorry.
Did you throw up in your mouth a little bit? What?
Nervous. It's nerves. My week was good. My little girl turned 2, so we had a giant birthday party. More balloons than anybody has any right ever blowing up. My husband was very upset with me.
You guys didn't have a machine to blow up the balloons?
Nope. Did it all just our own lung power. And we stayed up the night before until like 1 a.m. trying to get like the balloon arch just right. And he was just like, why you got to be so extra? What is up with you? And I'm like, you're right. This is too much. So I think next year we're gonna keep it a little bit low key, but it was really fun. She had a great time. It was adorable.
Did you have it at the house?
Yeah,
And how many guests?
about 25, 30.
Okay.
Like family. I
How
made
many
a cake.
children?
Only 3, just her and 2 other little kids. Again, family. Like we're the youngest of the family, so all the other kids are like teenagers. They don't really count as kids. But yeah, I made a big cake. That was like a 4-day ordeal where I'm like making the 4-layer cake with all the accoutrements and doing the whole thing, stressing myself out. Again, why you got to be so extra, Laura?
Was it worth it? Was the stress worth it? Was the losing your lung capacity worth it?
You gained lung capacity.
I got so many
Swim the
great
channel now.
I got so many great Instagrammable pictures of it to make me look like I have my life all together, which is really the motivation, is that I'm a hot mess 9 out of 10 times, but I can once or twice a year, I can pull my shit together and make people think that I'm a functioning adult. That is why I do these things.
That is a challenge, a goal that we all strive for. Like I discovered a new game with my daughter. She's two and some change now, like 27 months ish. This is a really fun game. You should try it. What she does is she takes everything out of the toy box and I just put it back in. And it's just
I play the same game.
Oh my God. Hours and hours of fun. And I think it's going to last for the rest of our lives.
We play cleanup song. Clean up. And then like she loses interest halfway through and then it's just me cleaning up the whole living room.
You still sing to yourself as you do it though?
I'm trying to model good behavior, see if she picks it up.
Now, what children's songs are stuck and ingrained in your head right now?
Baby Shark, constantly. Baby Shark. That's on repeat. We have so many Baby Shark toys, and I can't take it anymore. There's a bath toy that she puts it in the bathtub and it swims.
I hate
the yellow
that
one?
thing.
And the yellow shark.
Yellow is the baby.
Yes.
We have the pink one. We have Mommy Shark.
Somebody gave us Mommy Shark for the birthday. I'm like, this shit.
Ooh, because they hate you.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that one's going back because I cannot handle 2 Baby Sharks singing the song Baby Shark over and over and over again during bath time. Like during bath time, I try to pick it up and like put it away, and like 2 seconds later, she's like, looks at me, shark, and I'm like, and I put it back in.
I think you should alter her education right now. Say a shark is more like a pony, and then just correct her when she's 6 or 7 when she has to go to school. Is that toy is terrible. It's like the that stupid fish on the wall clock,
Oh yeah.
From back in the day.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy Bass.
Yeah.
Billy Bass. It sounds like you had one because you know the goddamn name.
Oh yeah. We had one. I think it was like a gag gift in our family that like every Christmas somebody would give it to somebody else and just open it up and redo it every year.
Well, that stupid shark in the shower, the water will sometimes hit it just right and start singing. Oh my God. Oh man. Drives me nuts. I'm glad it's broken now. It just doesn't work.
I don't know what happened. Sorry,
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Warranty is very bad on those.
A warranty had luckily had run out right as it broke.
I always think about hiding it, but it never quite gets there because she loves it so much. It's this constant pull between this is driving me insane, but you love it. Welcome to parenthood. Hard choices.
Well, my kid's got this new thing where he'll run into the room and he'll just go, look at my butt, turns around, makes a noise, and it runs out. Thank you.
That's amazing. That is why you have kids. Is exactly things like that.
Yeah, I felt bad the other day because we sleep in a queen bed and my daughter sleeps with us. And, I farted kind of stinky. And the wife woke up and she's like, oh, Emma, did you poop your pants? And I was like, was like, yeah, I don't know what it was. What'd you feed her tonight? You know, like she tried to make her sound like a bad mom. It was me. Yeah, I'm a terrible husband, terrible parent. Great podcaster, though.
Not true. I'm sure that's not true. All three. No.
Well, at least she hasn't gotten to blame you. My son's farting and now he's blaming me. Yeah, he'll fart. My mom goes, "Did you fart?" He goes, "No, Daddy." I'm like, "Oh, wasn't me."
Charlotte will laugh as soon as she farts, so that's how you know it's her. She farts and she just bursts out laughing, and it's adorable.
I hope that she doesn't carry that on through the rest of her life. You know, like you have those certain friends that like fart in the car with the windows up, and it's just hilarious to them. Like I'm throwing
That's how you
up.
test your friendship, man.
Man, I have coworkers like that too, and it's like, come on, man, my mouth was open. There's only one way out this room, and you farted in the doorway.
If you're the girl that does that, you're a certain kind of special as well. So, you know, I'm all right with it. If that's how she decides that she wants to be that girl, that like the Chris Farley of elementary school girls, I'm all right with it. Just,
she might be a softball player, if you know what I mean.
All right, let's just real quick get things out of the way. We have special shout out to Joey Valentine, host of Fat Guy Loves Cake, who we do a little back and forth with that podcast. So it's been fun so far. Lafayette promised to have a little something for him, but Lafayette's out tonight, so we'll have to wait till next week. But Joey, we got some special birthday shout outs for you. Without further ado, Johnny's mom gave us a call. Wanted to give you a happy birthday.
Joey, this is Johnny's mom. You stop calling my son fat. He not only fat, he not so smart either. Happy birthday, Joey.
Thank you, Johnny's mom.
Thank you, Mom.
She's a lovely lady. She loves you so much. And we have another caller call in and give us a voice message for you, Joey. So here you go.
It's your birthday, innit? Good for you. Go lick a donkey's ass. You fat roller skating cake junkie.
All right, Joey. Well, happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Joey.
Happy birthday.
And we look forward to hearing back from you shortly. He does 3 podcasts a week. We do 1. We're lazy. But he does 3. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. They're about a half hour a piece.
But
it's
a lot.
Same amount of content.
That is a
though,
lot.
You know,
It's a lot of work to entertain your fans like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We barely do it. We suck at it. Anyway, so we've been putting it off for 2 weeks due to somebody not seeing Top Gun. We're not putting it off any longer. The 3
And
of
I
us
don't
have
think
seen
we're going to
Top
spoil
Gun.
anything because Hugh doesn't listen to our podcast anyway.
No, absolutely not.
So-
No. And so next week, I'm just going to tell him, hey, man, we didn't talk about it. So we're going to talk about it this week. So you go first. And he'll do his thing. And I'll be like, all right, cool. We did it last week. Thanks for listening. We knew we didn't listen.
I still don't think he's going to see it by next week.
Oh, no, man. He'll see it as soon as it's able to be pirated. Then he'll see it.
Hmm.
That's
But
my
it was
guess.
so worth seeing it in the theaters. Like that was the thing.
Oh,
I was
absolutely.
Like, I had to go in person. And I listened to you guys last week and I was like, oh, they're going to review it next week. It's like, I got to get on. I want to talk about this shit. Rachel doesn't even know who Maverick is. I'm like, I can't talk about this with Rachel.
Oh, that made me so
Rachel.
sad when she was
know,
like,
right?
oh, is it coming? Is there one coming out?
I know.
Yes, it's going to be the biggest thing in the world. There was a part 1. Like, oh, it just made me so sad for her.
Is this a
I think it
prequel?
came out before she was born, to be fair. So
Probably
I guess I'll
did,
give
but
her a pass. 86 came out in 86, and she was born.
Really? 86?
Yeah. I just looked it up. I watched the original Top Gun last night to prepare for.
And how did it hold up?
I mean, I love that movie. Like, there's no like, I can't say that I don't like it. Like, it is what it is. So I grew up. I don't even remember seeing Top Gun. Like, it's one of those things that, like, I've known how to swim as long as I can remember. I have seen and loved the movie Top Gun as long as I can remember. We had it in our house in the VHS, not a taped off of TV situation, in the real cardboard box sleeve situation, and we had it. We only had like 3 movies, and it was because my dad worked on aircraft carriers. My dad has been an aviation photographer my entire life, and so he spent time on aircraft carriers, and that is what he did. And so he was obsessed with this movie when it came out, bought it, and it was just like part of the family lexicon. And so analyzing it any kind of critical way is really difficult, like, except for, I mean, it's kind of a shallow movie, right? But it's fantastic. You gotta freaking love it.
What did you think of the sequel?
Loved it.
All right, great review. Thank you. Appreciate it, Johnny. Johnny, you're up.
The sequel was amazing. It was different, just because of technology. They were able to shoot the scenes better. The original Top Gun, they reused a lot of the footage. Like when the afterburner goes out, they use that twice. Same plane. The dog fighting, I remember seeing that same clip a couple of times in the movie.
I just noticed that when I rewatched it the other night. I was like, that's the same shot you just used 30 seconds ago. They just used it again.
In the 80s, I guess it wasn't a big deal, but now you would get roasted for that, for sure.
You'd be all over Twitter.
Oh, yeah. that would definitely affect your Rotten Tomatoes. But yeah, just, preparing for the sequel to come out, I saw the original again, and it still holds up for me. Still nostalgic. Everyone did such a great job. It was it still holds up. I mean, because you still get the same feelings that you saw you felt when you first saw it. So I think we had a bootleg copy because my dad was really cheap. And back in when it first came out, those like VHSs were expensive. I want to say they were like $60, $80, maybe more.
Whoa, my dad spent that much money on it? Oh shit.
Well, he must have loved it.
Props to dad. Good job, Ron.
But the sequel is amazing. Tom Cruise gets so engulfed in his movies, and he's like, he wanted all the pilots to be in the plane, the footage. I mean, it was just amazing. Yeah, if you guys get a chance, there's maybe a 20-minute clip of Jocko Willink. He's a former Navy SEAL, and he interviews a guy who is actually the top instructor or something like that from Top Gun, and they give their reviews on it, and it was really interesting. It was amazing.
Did you know, fun fact, that the real Top Gun school, they fine students $5 if they quote the movie?
That
really?
Seems fair.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get real.
I wonder what happens with that, I don't know, swear jar type of thing that they have, and what they do with the thousands of dollars that they get every class.
How many times do you think they hear, I have the need for speed?
I mean, Buzz the Tower, at least to me, is the most classic one. I feel like I use that in my own life. Permission to Buzz the Tower.
That's always sound like a sexual thing to me.
Buzz the Tower.
Totally. I'm going to start using now. Like, Austin, you are clear to Buzz the Tower.
I wonder if that would be different, like having someone like go down on you, but you can like tell they're smiling,
Less lip action, more tongue, less lip action. You could probably feel the difference.
And he's like pumping his fists and whatnot. Carlos, what'd you think?
Oh man, I love the film. I haven't seen it twice. I do want to go back. But probably maybe an IMAX, or I don't know what the other theater is with the 4 screens that kind of wraps around the theater. I want to see it maybe in that, because just inside the cockpit, every time Tom would like pull that throttle or pull that stick one way or the other, just the quick action of that for some reason was just crazy exciting, just to see the plane just shoot in a certain direction. But you're right, he had like all the actors get in the planes and make sure they felt at least 5G, I think it was, so they knew exactly what it felt like, just to get the real look when they did the film. But I think, Johnny, you brought this up. Top Gun Maverick is Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Really?
when they talk about, and Laura, you've seen the original Star Wars, A New Hope,
It's been a long time. I mean, I'm familiar with the general story.
right? Towards the end, they're basically, you got to scale down this trench, and then you got to hit this target that's only 3 meters wide, and that was like the same thing. I was
That
like,
seems
huh.
familiar.
Yeah, I was expecting a lightsaber battle at the end, but it was still really good without the lightsaber battle. And that the realism of it is what's different from Maverick to the original one, because you don't see their faces going back and forth when they hit the G's and whatnot, and the aerial acrobatics.
right.
Holy crap, just amazing.
I don't know enough about planes anymore to know, but like that time where the I assume it's the Russians. They never say who it is. That was the same in the original.
They're
They
back.
never actually
They're
tell
back.
you who it is. But I mean, it's snowy, right? And they're clearly white guys underneath there, so it's got to be Russian. But where the Russian plane like whoosh, like right past him, like he does like that.
It does like a cartwheel type of
Yes, it was
thing,
so
and they were like, "What the
nuts.
fuck?" Yeah,
Yeah.
that was ridiculous. Yeah, I loved it. I loved just about everything. I mean, I don't think anything, the love line, the love story, was different in this one, but I thought it was just enough. I mean,
The love story to me was the thing that I was the least interested in. I was like, get out of here. It just felt like it was kind of horned in because the first one, it was also a big B plot in the original.
right. But
but
it gave you a nice break in between the trying to train the pilots, the action mission, and all that stuff. So
yeah. But I read something online last night that I had never even occurred to me before because I was like, who is this chick? She just comes out of nowhere. The name Penny Benjamin, which is her name, Jennifer
The Admiral's
Connelly's
daughter.
name, the Admiral's daughter. I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Yeah,
And I read it last
they
night,
talk
and I was
about that
like,
at the bar.
Oh shit!
Yeah, when he buzzed the tower, it was the Admiral's
Yeah.
daughter.
And I
Yeah.
just put it together, and I was like, okay, that doesn't. It makes it feel a little bit less out of left field to me, but it was great. I mean, like when I was just in the theater, and like I don't know if I'm hormonal or whatever, but as soon as the music started and that same text came up, it's like the same font, and then in 1976 they established the thing. I got super teary, and it was just nostalgia just like washing over me hardcore, and so I immediately loved it. And another thing that I thought was awesome, the beginning of the new one, Maverick, they do the carrier deck, and it is so similar to the original. And that's fascinating because really the way an aircraft carrier works on the deck, at least, has not changed significantly in 35 years. Like if you were to look at the computers, obviously inside the control room, huge difference in 1986 to today. But the general function, they've got it's basically a giant slingshot. That's how it works. And that's how it's worked since they invented aircraft carriers. And so I think that's really cool, just seeing like the continuity of technology across aviation. I think that's
well, you kind of nerded out right there, and that's primarily because your dad, right? Like,
yeah.
Because what girl would ever say any of those words when referring to Top Gun?
I mean, it's so cool. Like I went to whatchamacallit, the aircraft carrier that's right outside of San Diego, the big one you can tour. And I was just like having so much fun. Like there's just so much pictures of me like down on the like doing the arm thing.
the arm
like
signal.
yeah, just totally nerding out. And I love it. I love that giant elevator too, like because they take the planes from the belly and they pull them out and then through the side.
That was really dramatic. I love that part too.
I know. I love it. I love it. I love it. I didn't brag on my dad for a minute. I'm a total daddy's girl. But my dad has this awesome shot, this like timed exposure shot of it coming up from the depth of the thing and then turning. And so it's just like the waves in the background. It's all like just, blurry. And the way the plane moves and the timed exposure. It's super cool. I love all that stuff. Dork.
2 scenes that were predictable at the end. Even that didn't take away from the film at all. I mean, I'm sure you saw it coming, but it just the film. I mean, even that, like I said, just that overall, just the whole. I mean, like the Val Kilmer scene. I mean, to me, that was like, oh, my allergies. Is there smoke in here? What's happening?
I think that was awesome that they brought him in, and gave him a spot. I love that.
I would have been interested to see if Kelly McGillis come back.
Oh, imagine
because she doesn't look the same, and I'm not ragging on her because everyone changes over time. But Tom Cruise looks the same but older. She looks older.
Well, I mean, I read something from her where she said she's like, I'm almost 60 years old. And I look like I'm almost 60 years old. That's not what that scene is about. Like, that's what she said. I'm like, that's entirely accurate. If you didn't spend the last 30 years actively trying to fight off aging like Tom and Val did, then you're going to end up looking like a 60-year-old. That wasn't the focus of your life. That wasn't the focus of your life. And then, no, if I were her, I'd probably have some hard feelings, but I'd try to say no hard feelings. That would be my goal.
I mean, I don't know when the last time she worked, so I would take anything I could get. I mean, like I'll be the clerk at the grocery store, or the. I feel like she looks more like a diner waitress right now. Right? What do you want, baby?
You put you put makeup on her and do her hair. She looks all right. I feel like you Google her, you get a lot of like that. I just went to the grocery store images, which
that's what I was thinking. The old lady yelling at the cashier.
Yeah, nobody looks their best when they're going to the grocery store. So
speak for yourself.
Hoping to hear Danger Zone, but no danger zone.
I was kind of glad they didn't. I feel like that would have been a little bit too obvious, a little bit too on the nose.
Even in the even in the credits. I mean, man, just
maybe in the credits. Yeah.
Well, you didn't stay for the full credits, so I mean, it could have the credits run for like 10 minutes. They could have put anything on there.
Oh no, that's true. No, there was so much smoke in there. There's so much smoke in there I couldn't see. Might as well water. You had to leave. Get out.
Okay, the other part that I cried at, I mean, was the end. So it's, I mean, like no spoiler, right? But it's basically it's a generational story. That's what it is about. It's about the next generation and letting go or acceptance or whatever the case may be. And that really nailed home to me because I went to go see it by myself, by the way. I see movies by myself all the time, as you talked about last week. I go out to eat all the time by myself. I'm that weirdo and I love it. But anyway, I was by myself and the two people next to me was a guy about my age with his grandpa, who was probably in his late 70s, early 80s. And the guy that was my age had to read for him the like Val Kilmer's texting that he was doing because I assumed like his eyesight was bad or something. He couldn't see it. And that really caught me because I was like,
so you're looking straight ahead and you're crying. You look to your left and you're crying. You're just surrounded by.
And then, but the funniest part was during the very, like, not even PG, like the G sex scene that happened, because it's nothing like the first one, which is much more erotic. But in this one, it's much more toned down. And the grandpa goes to the guy my age. He goes, "Do you need me to fast forward through this scene?" And I was just like, "Oh my God, I love this so much. This is my favorite thing." Just listening to grandpa and grandson bantering over Top Gun.
I mean, I love that he read, that there was a bonding moment there, but I feel bad for the grandpa, right? Because I feel like you needed to see this in HD. Like, get the thickest glasses you got. And, I mean, it's so impressive. Speaking of that erotic scene, I remember in 4th grade, we used to have movie time like every week. And then for a couple of weeks in a row, like I brought movies. So I brought Top Gun. And then that scene came up. And then, their lovemaking scene. And I remember as a 4th grade, because I had seen the movie a bunch of times, but I felt really uncomfortable and then kind of responsible. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a nipple. Oh, their tongues touch.
So much tongue.
So
Yes.
I got to go to the bathroom. Can I? Yeah.
Puberty. Somebody needs to hide a book in front of them. Maybe that's right around the time I'm getting a little uncomfortable. All I need to see is a silhouette and a tongue, and I'm just boing.
Well, I think back then you brush against me in the wrong way, and that's it. So what? I don't know if you've ever given this any thought, but what would your call sign be?
I haven't given any thought, but I have looked at all the ones, and I was like, "That's cool. That's cool. Where did they come up with that? That's cool."
Yeah.
I'm not that clever.
Johnny, what would yours be?
I think I would have to go with Flipper.
Flipper?
Why flip?
Like the dolphin? Oh, the dolphin.
Because I don't know if you know this, Laura.
You're attracted to dolphins.
When I was deployed overseas, we had a pass and I got to go to Budapest. And I got a little drunk. And all my buddies, all my military buddies, they got pit bulls with blood coming out their mouths, skulls, crossbones, things like that. And I woke up with a dolphin on my shoulder. And it was done really well, apparently.
Is it like Lisa Frank style? It's like rainbow.
It was jumping
Yeah, I
out of the
mean,
water.
It was jumping out of the water. It was arching its back. And I remember like when we got back to the base and I told somebody, "Hey, I got a dolphin." Like, what is it? Some gay dolphin jumping and arching into the bag? And
Sure enough.
sure is. So after I got out of the military, me and my buddies were going to go on a cruise, and I was like, I can't have a dolphin on my back. I'm trying to pick up chicks. So I got it covered up, and the only thing that would cover it up takes up like half my shoulder blade. It's like a big dragon. But if you look in the belly of the beast, you can still see the dolphin.
In the belly of the beast.
In the
lies
belly of the
flipper.
beast. So I'm going to go with Flipper because I have a good sense of humor and I could take a little razzing from my military co-parts. And then if I was really good at being a pilot of, like Tom Cruise was, then you can call me whatever you want. I'll still kill you in the air. So Flipper, I think I'm gonna go with Flipper.
All right. Mine would be Poor Church Mouse.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's what I use now is
either.
when I play Xbox.
Yeah.
Like I got it. Go ahead.
Well, I just you got to think of another one. I think the poor church mouse coming up. I'm engaging the guns. I'm
That's
poor.
too many syllables. You can't
By
say
the
that.
by the time you get your radio traffic out, you've been shot down by your own people. Like, yeah,
I hate that guy's name.
Can't fucking say
Shoot
it.
him down.
Switching to guns.
Yeah.
I guess I'd have to
Anything
go
else?
with something that Hugh used to call me all the time. Then it'd be Losaman.
Losaman?
Yeah.
What is
My
that?
the three last letters of my first name.
Oh.
Said it in some sort of Jamaican thing often for some weird reason.
Losaman.
That would definitely throw
Losaman.
everybody off, enemy included.
I know, right?
Losaman. 2 miles out. Who are we fighting? I thought we were Russian.
I would have to go with, I guess it has to be different than your name though, right? Because my last name is unique. And so people call me Bookie. That's used to be a nickname of mine. But I guess that would be too similar because the idea is to hide your name, right? That's the idea of a call sign? Or is it just to be shorter? I don't know.
I think a call sign just to be cool. I mean,
Just to be
Iceman,
cool?
Maverick, Goose.
Oh, yeah. Iceman. Is
Oh,
Goose cool?
isn't very cool.
Is
though.
cool.
No, Goose,
Yeah.
probably why he died. I would have died if that's probably why he died.
Well, I mean, his son is Rooster.
That was cute.
What else was
the
there?
rooster
There was
thing. Jester. The new ones. I don't remember any.
Yeah.
Who was the
ones.
tough guy, the Captain America? Who was that guy? What was his name?
That's not
Hangman.
Hangman. Yeah.
He's actually going to be in another aviation movie. I think it's going to be World War II based, and I don't know who the lead character is. I think he was in that recent all black cowboy movie. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. Very
Yes, yes, yeah. The Netflix
Tarantino-esque.
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he was in that, and he'll be a pilot in that, and then Hangman's gonna be his co-pilot or something like that. So he's all
Hangman
about
was
being
It's about
pilot.
flying planes.
Hangman was so much more of a dick than Iceman was. Like looking like back, I was like, this is the guy. I was like, this guy's so much worse. He's such a dick.
He was, but even like at the end, he was like a good dick. Like, you know,
Thank yeah.
No,
I'm
that
a-
good dick.
a
We
good
all know,
dick.
yeah.
Carlos, you know what that good
You
dick is
buzz
like.
my tower.
No?
You buzz my tower any day, Hangman.
Hanging low, Hangman.
Yeah, I noticed that too. He was a little evil. Did you ever see the Karate Kid remake?
No.
I'm sure
Negatory.
Carlos did.
Cobra Kai?
No, the one with Jaden Smith.
Oh my god. Yeah, sorry, I did.
Yeah, the group of kids in that
Yeah.
was like super evil, like even worse than like the major like kung fu movies.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end, everything was fine. But yeah, Hangman was a little evil, but he came through in the end.
But Hangman is a guy that I would want as my wingman.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm picking him over Rooster all day.
I mean,
All day.
same as Iceman, right? It's like they're kind of
Yeah,
dicks,
right.
but they're really good at what they do, and so you have to
Absolutely.
respect them for it.
And then they did volleyball? No, they did football in this one, right? Not volleyball.
Football. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
football.
you're playing offense and defense at the same time. It was very confusing.
It
I've seen it twice and I don't know the rules.
I asked Austin, or my husband, I came home and he said, was there a volleyball scene? I'm like, no, there was a touch football scene on the beach. And he's like, shirts and skins. I'm like, oh no, just skins, buddy. There were no shirts to be seen anywhere.
Right. I didn't know who was on whose team. And I didn't know who scored and what happened.
That's not the point. The point is for all of them to be naked. That's
Kind of reminded me of the game we played as a kid, Smear the Queer. Do you remember that?
I do.
What the fuck is that?
Well, it's a
That
game
is
where
not PC.
Well,
I
it's a
thought you
game.
guys lived in California. What the fuck? I'm over here in Missouri. Like, what?
This was in the early 90s.
Yeah, the early,
Oh, it was
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
All right.
No, it was actually the late 80s.
Oh, that's right.
Anyway,
We're old.
Yeah, we're old. So anyway, you throw a football in the air, and whoever catches it has to try to get to the end zone by themselves without getting smeared. Basically, you're gonna get tackled by everyone. So his choice is either try to get tackled or throw it back up in the air, and then whoever
Someone
catches
else
it next, you change direction, you go after that person. But it's only the end zone is only one way. You can't go back and forth. It's only one way. So you
Sounds
throw it in the air. And what's funny is that everybody wanted to catch the ball. I'm like, it's not like, oh, I don't want to get hit. I'm not going to catch it. As soon as it went in the air, everybody tried to get it. And then you try to run towards the end zone. Everybody tried to tackle you. That's what kind of.
So you were saying everyone wanted to be queer. Everyone.
No, smear. Everybody wanted to smear the queer. That's right. Everyone did want to be queer. Yeah.
I remember as
You're
a
right.
kid.
Or just kids are
It just-
stupid.
it just
Like,
hit
I want
me.
the ball. I want the ball.
I do remember thinking to myself, that doesn't sound right. You know, like, huh? All right. I mean, I'll play, but you know,
These rules are
if,
kind
if,
of weird.
if they changed the name, I wouldn't mind.
My favorite HR story related to queer is the LGBTQ. And some coworker asked me, and he's like a little bit older than me. He's probably in his mid 40s. He's like, what does the Q stand for? And I said, queer. He's like, you can say that now. Because when I was in high school, when I was in junior high, that got you detention. I was like, that's fair. It's very confusing out there. Very confusing out there, Ben.
Yeah, Joey Valentine, he does a little clip on or a show about the word queer, and he looked it up, and basically it says like you can use it sometimes, but not all the times. But if you don't like, it makes you feel uncomfortable, you shouldn't use it. And like there was like a whole like confusing definition. So
Very confusing.
yeah, the whole thing is confusing to me. Like, do you understand what the gender pronoun thing is? Like when people say the they and You
They,
identify as
they,
them.
They, them. I think that they don't want to be either or. They don't want to be a she or a he. And then you just like everything you've learned about grammar just has to go out the window.
Right, because
Very
like you
difficult.
can't say really how are them doing today,
How are them doing today?
because it does sound a little like Neanderthalish.
You would say they in that case. How are they doing today?
How are they doing? Yeah, but when
Oh,
you're talking about,
okay.
well, yeah. How are they doing? Well, it's true. Like if Laura's in here, I'm like, oh, how are they doing today?
I think
They.
it's like that
The
new
collective.
core math that's going around. Like,
Yeah,
Mm.
it's this next generation shit. It's just like you know what? I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And no offense, guys, just another time, guys.
Mm.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it back to Top Gun here. So one of the things that I noticed, because I wrote it down in my notes, so I had to talk about it, was the grunting when they did the like the high
Oh, that's
G.
for real. Yeah,
I know
yeah.
it is. Yeah, they do
Yeah.
that for real because it keeps pushes the blood. It keeps
Right.
it in their brain so they don't
Pass
pass out. But
out.
they didn't have that in the first one, and I guess because they didn't have such like high G impact when they were doing like the the big finale thing, climbing out of it or whatever. But the thing that I noticed was all the guys were grunting. The one woman pilot never grunted.
No, she's like, I got this. I'm used to it.
No, I guarantee it's because they filmed it and then they were like, this is sexual. We have to take this out. Because it doesn't sound right. You can tell
Huh.
all the guys doing,
Yeah.
but then you give a girl going, and it just, nope, you got it.
Huh.
Nope, we're taking it out. It's not working.
I never even noticed it. No.
Now I'm wondering if
No.
I should buy the DVD, like the
The
director's cut.
extended, or the deleted scenes, the deleted audio track. You can
Yeah,
add it in.
I got your back.
Was-
So overall, what would you rate it?
Yeah.
10 out of 10. You guys do
Oh.
a scale of 5, don't you?
Yeah,
We
5 out of
do.
5. Same thing.
Okay, fine. 4.5 out of 5. If I'm like being,
So if it's a scale of 10, it's perfect, but it's a half scale. So
No, I overshot a little bit. I was like, maybe it's not the perfect movie.
Mm.
It's really fucking good.
It would have been
4.5.
perfect if they left the audio in for the woman.
Definitely better than the game. And I like the game. So,
Yeah, Johnny.
As weird as it may sound, I'm gonna have to agree. If it's a scale of 10, I'm gonna give it a 10. But what we normally do, and I've told you before, I don't like our scale, but 4.5. I mean, it was a fantastic movie. I've seen it twice. I'll see it again. I just hope they don't wait another 36 years to make another one, because I just don't think I'll be around.
honestly,
Do you think
I hope
they'll
they
make another one?
do.
And what's the next story? I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
They don't let anything die anymore. Just let it go.
no, I know they don't. No.
It was so good because there was such a wide gap.
I don't think you could sell it to me that Maverick is still going to be in the military or still going to be needed
In his
in
90s.
another. Yeah.
Or it's still going to be allowed in a plane. I mean, like
Don't they have a forced retirement at a certain age?
I asked my dad about this because I was curious. I was like, there is no way that they would let a man, this old get behind, get into the cockpit of $1 billion plane. And my dad was like, well, some of those Blue Angels, they'll fly like honor flights, older. And then for the photographers, like they'll let them in there. They're not flying, of course, but I mean, they'll let he knows this like 75-year-old dude that's still doing it. He's in these jets and doing all this crazy G's crap, and he's in his mid 70s and staying conscious. So it's very possible. So I was like, okay, I'll take a believability pill on that one.
Well, he did destroy a $1 million, $1 billion plane maybe at the beginning of the film.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, trying to push 10
Oh,
Gs.
it's a prototype. Yeah. It was meant to be
Those aren't
destroyed.
free. I'd give it a 4.5 as well. I liked it. I am definitely gonna go see it again. I like
I
it.
gotta go find time to see it by myself, because my husband won't see it with me, but I will see it again before it leaves the theater. Hopefully
No,
in IMAX.
why won't he see it with you?
He's just not a Top Gun fan. He doesn't like Tom Cruise either, and I'm a giant, unabashed Tom Cruise fan.
I'm sorry. Did you say you married someone who doesn't like Top Gun?
You are correct. I did.
And his name is what?
Austin.
I mean, that's a
Oh.
manly name, but why is he not a man? I just don't understand.
He says that Top Gun is actually just a chick flick wrapped in a in a military wrapper. That it's just all about the romance.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't think that's true. Because the first one, I mean, it really doesn't have a plot. Like the first one is like what? He's awesome. And then it takes him the whole time to remember how awesome he is. Like that is the plot of the first one is he's an amazing pilot. And then he also confirms he is an amazing pilot. That is the storyline. And so there's not really much there. It's very shallow, but it was the 80s. And so you took what you could get. And I loved it.
But what these words that you were saying, they don't match up to the movie. That Goose dies.
I know.
And he has
really
to,
sad.
he gets gun shy, like literally gun shy. And he comes back for Goose.
Again, he knows that he's awesome. Something bad happens to him. And he's like, maybe I'm not awesome. Maybe I'm not the awesomest of awesomeness. Maybe I'm a human being. And then in the end, nope.
No,
I
awesome.
am definitely awesome.
Yeah.
And that is the right call because I mean you do. And Tom Skellick, yeah, in the first one, like it's rough, man. He's like, just get over it, man. I'm like, really? Is that great advice? But different times. But yeah, I mean it's the right thing to do, but it's not a super deep movie. It is an ankle deep film, but we love it anyway.
We do. And it makes you
Maybe
feel
it's
good.
mostly because of the volleyball team, but
I
I had to bring it up because
I think your husband has a volleyball like traumatic past or something like that. Somebody spiked it, hit his forehead. He lost the winning game. Fuck volleyball. Fuck Tom Cruise. Fuck Top Gun.
That's what happened to Austin. Yeah, he's just repressing the memory. That's why he hates it. Traumatic volleyball injuries.
All right. Well, let's take a break here on our Stalking Podcast. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Silas and I'm one of the hosts on Uploading Podcast. On my show, we talk about tech and gaming news stories that you probably wouldn't hear about on other podcasts. Japanese data center company starts eel farming side business. We'll also chip in our own quirky opinions.
1 character and 1 card and 90 rubies for 39.99 euros.
The Japanese gaming furniture brand Bahamut launched its first gaming bed. Who wants to stay in bed and game?
Search for Uploading Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your pods. Or follow at Uploading Pod on Twitter. Thank you, and now I'm very sorry for interrupting. Have fun with the rest of your show.
Welcome back to Nerd Stalking the Podcast. I'm here with Johnny and Laura. And have any of you guys ever walked out of a movie or left a concert early or sporting event besides leaving because you want to fight traffic? A sporting event or concert, that is. Have you ever walked out of a movie, concert, or sporting event? And what's the best live event you've ever attended? Johnny, you got anything? Or Laura, please go ahead.
I walked out of Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage. I was like, this movie is shit. And I regret the money that I paid for it, and I want my money back. And they will give it to you. By the way,
really?
Not only did I leave, I went up and I was like, I want my money back. This movie is terrible. They should not have put this on a movie screen, and I want my money back. And they will give it to you.
No,
Really?
they will. But
I've never experienced
what if you leave
that.
like there's 5 minutes left?
Probably not then. I think we left like about halfway through. Like I don't remember the plot of that movie or anything, but there was just like one scene and like somebody was like blah 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 father, and I'm like, okay, I'm just like out. Nope. No more
That's
cliches.
enough.
We are not watching this anymore. And I left. And then I definitely have left a concert before I left. Not because the concert was bad or anything. It was a 9 Inch Nails concert in like the early to mid 2000s. And I was just like, this is not my scene anymore, guys. Like, everyone was like, all these girls were wearing like corsets and and
Chokers.
dog collars. And I'm just like, I mean, once upon a time, this was me. This is not me anymore. And there's too many people in this small space. Out. And we left just because, nope. Mm-mm.
Wasn't your thing. So when you bought the tickets, we were like, yeah, 9 Inch Nails. And then
I
remember them. Yeah.
Well, we sat in the stairwell for a while and just like, so we could hear the music, and like feel the music.
Yeah.
But like it was in the hockey stadium in St. Louis, and you're just elbow to elbow. And I don't like, I think that was around the time where I realized I don't like crowds, not that many people. It scares me. I don't like the feeling. I don't like being hot and sticky and touched. And yeah.
I get that. And recently, the concerts or sporting events that I've gone to, I got to splurge. I got to be front row or close to. I got to be in the better section. I can't be in the nosebleeds anymore. I can't be standing room only. Those days are done. I think I'm past that point, and I'm glad, because it's very uncomfortable when you're young and broke and paying $15 for a concert or sporting event or something like that. I mean, I can't say that I've ever walked out on anything other than like maybe traffic. But I have been kicked out of a movie, and that's because I snuck in.
Ooh.
Oh.
And I snuck into Mortal Kombat 2, and it's such a bad movie. Like when they were like,
terrible.
Oh my God. And when they were like, you need to leave, I'm like, you're kicking
no
me
problem.
out of this
Happily.
They should have been bringing people in that they catch. Like, you
should have been paying me
watch
to
this
see
movie.
this.
That's the only one I've been kicked out of. You guys ever sneak into a movie?
All the time.
I've never snuck in without paying, period, but I have seen a movie and then said, fuck this, and just like kind of meandered my way around other theaters to be like, what else? I paid for a ticket. I got to watch something that I like, which I did very recently when my husband dragged me to go see The Northman. And I literally was like, I cannot watch this anymore. And I got up and went and watched a portion of the Nick Cage movie. I don't remember the name of that one. The massive weight of that one, Massive Talent or whatever. That one. I watched a little bit of Fantastic Beasts, and I watched a little bit of the Father whatever one where is it like Mark Wahlberg is a priest or something? I don't know.
Father Stu.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. And then I had to come back eventually to the movie. And I'm like, why did I come back in here? I should have just watched the rest of Fantastic Beasts.
You know what's funny is like you leaving and coming back and then missing that whole portion. You didn't miss out on much.
I'm
Not
sure
a damn thing.
What did your husband think of the movie?
He also hated it.
Oh, good, good.
I don't think he hated it as much as I did, but he definitely hated it as well.
I was starting to have my doubts about him because of his lack of love for Top Gun. He lost that loving feeling.
Now, when you're at home and you're watching a bad movie, do you turn it off? Or if it's on Netflix or it's streaming, or do you just like, whatever, it's on, I'll go do some things while it stays on? Or do you turn it off?
I think if the movie is bad, then it's still background noise, but then it's phone time. I'm playing my games or
facing your phone. Yeah.
I think it just depends. Like for me, it's if I actively dislike it and it's not fun to make fun of it, I will turn it off. But if I actively dislike it and it's fun to make fun of, then it will stay on. But there's also a ton of movies that I start and then I'm like, it's late. I turn it off and I just never go back to it. What about you, Carlos?
I've walked out of The Karate Kid, the remake with Smith
Jaden
kid.
Smith?
Yeah, Jaden Smith. What a piece of garbage. It just dragged I'm like, is this over yet? And it's hit like the 2-hour mark. I'm like, yep, that's it for me. And I left. I was like, no, I'm done. I know the
Movie night may
story.
not be over, but it's over for me.
That's
Bye.
right. See ya. And I didn't ask for my money back. I was like, yep, I'm leaving. I just walked right out the door. Yeah, yes. I think that's the only thing I've ever walked. I almost walked out of this movie called The Inkwell. I think the only reason I didn't walk out of it was because I went with some friends and they were still sitting there. I should have left that one too. That was a horrible movie. But that's it. As far as like leaving sporting events and concerts and stuff, if I did leave early at all, it's like the parking thing or the traffic thing. I just want to be stuck in traffic. And I think like one of the best live events I ever did was a Linkin Park concert. Linkin Park was just live, was just incredible. That, and believe it or not, Ricky Martin. Ricky Martin is one of my favorite concerts.
I do.
That guy can put on a show. Yeah. But yeah.
Laura, favorite concert?
Like I said, I hate concerts now, so it's hard to like think back on one that I enjoyed.
Traumatized,
but I'm sure they
apparently.
existed. I think the last one that I went to and actually enjoyed was a band called Group Love. I don't know if you guys know them. They're like an indie rock group that was big in like maybe the 2010s. They put on a pretty good show.
Never heard. Johnny, favorite concert besides 80s R&B. Oh my God, don't start with that shit.
How many times have you seen Boys to Men?
Twice.
It's not that bad.
How many times you try to join Boys to Men?
42 times. No,
sorry, you're still a boy. You're not yet a man.
I never saw them exclusively. They performed with 98 Degrees and New Kids on the Block.
That is the girliest concert I've ever heard of.
And it was amazing.
Now, have you ever seen them when it was the 3 of them or the 4? How many are there? 4?
There's 3 of them. The 4th one, it's kind of weird. I tried to do my research on it. Like he left the band because he has scoliosis. The guy with the cane.
Right. Yeah.
But then later on, there's stories about like him getting kicked out, and I mean they still do the songs, but without that bass type of.
Yeah. But have you ever seen them with all 4?
No, that was
okay. All right.
I think I was too young, too broke, or maybe too deployed to go at their heyday. But New Edition, they put on a good concert. I think the best one though, probably Keith Urban. That guy's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, he was going from guitar to piano to he was playing a mandolin at one point. His songs were really good. That might be up there. Worst one, Lenny Kravitz.
Really?
Really?
Why is that?
Well, he was like playing his new stuff, and then you know how when some artists they'll like sing for a little bit and then they'll point the mic to the crowd. Nobody was saying shit. They're like, I don't know this song.
It's brand new, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the stuff that I knew was great, but then there was like, I don't know, 4 songs that I was like, all right, well, I guess this is bathroom break time.
One good concert I went to was Kid Rock.
Oh yeah, he's one of those ones too that
he puts on a show, man.
He does a lot of pyrotechnics, right? Like a lot of fireworks.
Well, he'll go from the drums, the guitar, to the DJ booth, to just everything. And the last time I went, he put out an album which is pretty shit. It had like two good songs on it, and he knows it because he did the 2 songs from that album like right away, like after the intro of the concert. And then he even explained, I know you guys are wondering why I did the first ones right away, because I didn't want you to leave and go to the bathroom. I want you to hear it. So he knew. No, but it was a good show, man. So Kid Rock does put on a good show. I don't know. A lot of people aren't fans of his anymore because of this Trump supporter thing or whatever. But I'd definitely go see him again. That's entertainment. He's good.
I just saw him on Silicon Valley most recently, and honestly, that was like a while ago. Where he's like playing in one of the Silicon Valley parties. It's like, God, I hate doing this Silicon Valley shit. It's just a bunch of nerds just standing there staring at him. I think that's the last time I've heard of Kid Rock.
He's a really good actor too. On Joe Dirt, remember him on Joe Dirt?
Yeah.
See Joe Dirt.
You
What?
didn't. You've never.
What
I've never
the-
seen Joe Dirt.
The fuck
You
is
need to
wrong with
watch
you?
it.
Part 2
The
is
David Spade movie, right?
You can pass up on part 2, but yeah,
Definitely
part 1,
past part 2. First
part 1
one
is amazing.
very
And-
classic.
And Kid Rock is hilarious. It's a very
Then I'll have to check it out.
rednecky humor. I
My
think I
space
lost
peanut.
lost some respect for you.
It's the space peanut. The fireworks part is one of my favorites. I got the whiskey do's, whiskey don'ts, with or without the scooter stick. That's a good 4th of July one to watch too. That should
Agreed.
definitely be on your list for 4th of July. True American classic right there.
I think my favorite part is when the sheriff comes in and he's like, "Oh, this is just a septic tank," and he knocks the top off. I'm covered in poo.
It's
gotta
really
see it.
fucking dumb, but you know,
it's
dumber
so
the better.
stupid.
It's just like an hour and a half long SNL sketch, but a good one.
Yeah. If you get a chance, go to a Journey concert. Journey was very entertaining. The lead singer now, I think his name is Arnel Pineda, something like that. Yeah, he's got a ton of energy, he's running up and down, singing his ass off. And if you ever want to be surrounded by 20,000 Filipino people, go to a Journey concert.
Oh, that's right. The lead singer is a Filipino dude.
Yeah.
He took over.
Yeah, there's a great documentary on that where they're looking for the new lead singer of Journey because the other guy bowed out or couldn't do it anymore, and they found this guy in the Philippines who could barely speak English, but his voice is just amazing, and they changed his life around because he was singing for peanuts before, and now he's like a millionaire. Like they split everything evenly across the board, and yeah, it was amazing.
That is interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know anything about Journey other than Don't Stop Believing.
Damn right.
Some great life lessons in their songs. And then they always play the songs like at the San Francisco Giants games, the something by the bay.
Sitting on the dock at the bay?
No,
That's not Journey. I was like,
No,
wait a
that's-
minute. That's definitely not Journey.
that was on Top Gun. The City. It's called The City.
City by the Bay.
Yeah.
Sounds vaguely familiar. I'm sure I'd know it.
Well, it's amazing. So if you want to listen to anything amazing, pop in a couple Journey tracks.
That sounds amazing, my friend.
But then, like, you told me not to do it, but New Edition. Oh,
Ugh,
I love me
course.
some New Edition.
Of course.
I can't wait till they do the Bobby Brown tribute one when he dies unexpectedly of crack or whatever the hell he's on.
When he
right
dies
now.
unexpectedly of completely natural and normal causes. Heart failure. ... Caused by fill in the blank.
All righty. Well, with that, I think we're going to wrap it up, boys and girls. You got anything else for us, Johnny?
Not today.
Laura, you got anything for us?
No. Thanks for having me. Always fun.
Well, thanks
to
for
pop
joining
in.
us again.
Yeah, I
Especially
appreciate
to
it.
talk Top Gun.
And you've got to
Yeah.
convince your husband to watch Top Gun too. It's such an I mean, like if he's any kind of a man,
He'll watch
you-
it when it comes out on pirate. He'll download it for me, and then I'll convince him to sit down. He'll watch it.
it's such a good movie. It's so impressive. I can't stop saying enough about it. I can't wait to see it again.
I know. I want to go see it with my dad. That's on my to-do list. Me and my dad. Me and my dad.
Oh, I
wanna go
was
see
going to
it.
ask you about that, and because I don't know your history, and I didn't want to be like, "Hey, did your dad see it yet?" And my dad is dead, or something like that. And I'll be like, "Oh, fuck!"
He's alive. He's just old, and he doesn't do anything cool. He's like, well, actually, it's not true. My dad is doing something cool, but that's the only does. My dad he's retired, and all he wants to do. These are the two things that he does. He rides his bicycle, and he plays guitar. These are the only things that he's interested in doing. If you ask him to do anything else, not interested. A or B.
Now, would he is going to start up a band?
He's in several.
Oh, several.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
And how often do you go to his gigs?
Not as often as I should. A lot of the times they're like in the middle. They're like an hour away, and because he plays bluegrass mostly.
Okay.
He plays
Okay.
the dobro, which is a steel guitar, which is if you're
Yep.
familiar with bluegrass music. That's his niche. And I like bluegrass music quite a bit, but the market for bluegrass music is about an hour west of me. And I'm like, no, I'm not making that drive.
Yeah, the clientele for bluegrass has got to be
Slim.
It's a little bit bigger in Missouri. I feel like there's a brewery near us that does like a bluegrass brunch every Sunday. They don't play every Sunday, but like they have a different bluegrass brand, and we go to them all the time because they're literally like 5 minutes away from my house. So I'll always go see them there. But bluegrass is great.
I've gone to a few barbecue classes, and I feel like the same clientele that are at the barbecue classes are going to be at the bluegrass.
Definitely. You are in that sweet spot right there.
So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll see some of the guys I went to class with.
Thank you for coming again. You're
Thank you,
welcome
Laura.
back anytime.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll see you again week or two, 3?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Week.
Perhaps. Thanks for coming out, Bookie.
Thanks.
Aren't you going to call me by my call sign?
Flipper?
That's what I was trying to do.
Flipper, I was trying to remember it.
How could you forget? I got a fucking dolphin on my back.
That's right, Roger Flipper. Here we go.
And you, what the
Poor
fuck
church
was
mouth.
it? Poor Los Cobos.
Los Lobos. Like un Dios.
Cabos San Lucas.
I think I'll just call you the number 5. I'll get the Los Lobos con Dios.
All right, then for that, we're done for the week. Johnny.
See ya.
And Laura.
Bye-bye.
And for me, bye-bye. See you next week.